So, this movie made me buy Lobo. Hello people, welcome back to my channel. I am very late to this review if I'm being honest, but I do want to get my thoughts out about this movie because it's a movie that made me experience things that I personally enjoyed, but I can also have gripes about it. So let's talk about it. Firstly, I want to talk about a lot of my gripes about the movie, and it's unfortunate because I really came into this movie expecting something different, but what I got in return was more so just an okay superhero movie, which isn't bad, but it isn't great either. I don't think the cast of this movie or the potential of the story really deserve that, especially since it is adapting a comic book. And it's unfortunate that the story that I've gathered from other people who are much more knowledgeable in the fact about Women of Tomorrow, it's unfortunate that they didn't really do much with the source material, because I think the source material would have been a great movie if it was adapted correctly. But I understand a lot of the changes they made, and I think that's why it took me a while to make this video, besides my current occupations in life. But it's a shame, really, what this movie could have been. But instead of focusing on that, I should definitely focus on what it is. And it's just unfortunately generic. There aren't really that much standouts in this movie besides some of the scenes, which I'll talk about in the spoiler section. But as of now, I'll talk about what I can recommend about this movie and give my score before delving into spoilers and going on from there. So first, the three roles that really captivated me in this movie are mainly Millie Alcock as Supergirl, of course, she does amazing. Jason Momoa as Lobo, he's perfect, although I wish we got more of him. Then David Cornswet Superman, who is surprisingly in like a decent amount of scenes. There's also this captivating moment in the movie where you're really hooked into listening to this part of the story, but then it's kind of like very brief, and it's one of those more quieter moments that I appreciate more from movies. And unfortunately, because of this movie's egregious short runtime, it just doesn't do enough justice to what it's trying to convey on screen. The action is okay. I don't think there were much standout moments besides the ending fight, and whenever they try to do something Lobo, I enjoy anything Lobo. Jason Momoa is perfect, but besides the Lobo glaze, I do enjoy the use of Supergirl's powers in this movie. The space sequences are fun, but besides that, I do think that the movie's visuals do get a little too brown. You know, like, no offense, but some of the visual storytelling of this movie isn't really pleasing to the eye most of the time. But I kinda describe it as this dirt aesthetic that has a lot of orange and brown. I think those are the hues that I see mainly in this movie. It's also why the color grading of this video looks like that, because the movie kind of looks like that. And it really disappoints me, considering, again, the art from the original source material was a lot more vibrant. The story is simple, you can follow it very easily. Just your typical space adventure about revenge and all that jazz. It's nothing special, really. Then there's the direction. I do like a lot of the scenes in specific places, but then there's also the wasted potential of it all that keeps dragging along in my head as I watch the movie. The antagonist of this movie, too. I don't know how to feel about him, and I know what his original plotline was gonna be, and I don't know if I wanna, see that, but at the same time, he could have been better. From what I've heard from the comics, he wasn't as great either, but again, it's definitely a choice for the villain to just kinda be there, just to exist and not really be as captivating, besides for the first scene that he was in. Overall, this movie is just a 7.5 out of me, maybe a 7 if I have to go lower, and if I have to be really harsh, 5. It's mid. It's unfortunately mid, and would I recommend it to people who don't watch superhero movies much? Yes, it's kind of like an okay place to start with. It's palatable, it's fast, and it doesn't take much of your time, but at the same time, it's definitely an acquired taste when it comes to people who watched so much of this media, especially me. I personally enjoyed that time I was watching it because I was with a lot of people I cared about. But besides that, the overall movie, when trying to watch it, it was just the most average movie I have ever watched, and that hurts me. Now let's get into spoiler territory, because I can't really explain my gripes fully without going into spoiler territory. So if you've already watched the movie, this is the place where you'll be able to hear my mostly unfiltered thoughts. Firstly, Krem was supposed to have a bigger role in the movie. He was supposed to have an extra 11 minutes of screen time where we would have explored his motives a little more. Apparently, he was an abused child who wanted to make Ruthie, a literal child, his bride. Now that is kind of interesting to me, because that would have made him a much more vile person than he already was in the movie. Because in the movie, Krem of the Yellow Hills, the leader of the brigands, the man who has the strength of 1,000 men, is a fraggin' sex trafficker. And I was already intrigued with that concept, because that just gave the audience a more simple reason to hate these guys. But I low-key wanted a lot more reasons to hate him, because Krem of the Yellow Hills could have been interesting. He could have been interesting. While making Ruthie his bride would have been like a disgusting motivation, I would have hated him more, because that would have made him a lot more imposing in a way, because this guy is trying to get after a child and is trying to gather up all these women, notably young women as stated in the movie, to traffic them and to fully sustain his whole male brigand race. And it's so disgusting already. And the fact that he wants to take in this child whose family he murdered as his personal bride, disgusting. I would have hated his character more for it, but they didn't do that. Instead, in the movie, he's kind of just this intimidating for this first introduction scene, and then after that he's kind of just gone, and he's just kind of this weirdo who traffics women, and that's it. He's not that crazy. He has these quirky scenes that don't really work, and he is basically potential villain, basically just early MCU villain. And he's very boring, very bland, very generic, and I wished that they could have went for an interesting route, whether it would be the whole disgusting child bride or a hunter that continuously hunts down this girl that he didn't get to kill. And that's why Ruthie could have went to Supergirl for protection, and Supergirl would have spent a lot of the movie trying to protect Ruthie. And that's Could have been a lot more interesting if they really wanted to change the plot of the comic, but hey, it is what it is. Besides that, I do enjoy Supergirl. I really enjoy her character. I enjoy Millie's portrayal of Supergirl. She's very fun, and a lot of her scenes on Krypton were amazing. Genuinely, the Krypton scenes were amazing. Any scene she's with that takes a deep breath with her character, where she isn't trying to be funny, where she's just herself, authentic herself. She's a miserable character who's just trying to get by coping with alcohol or going to parties. She's kind of like a self-destructive protagonist that finds purpose with protecting this one girl who she doesn't want to see become more like her, broken. And the ending of the movie kind of emphasizes on that part, and the way I interpreted it was that when she kills Krang, when Supergirl kills Krang, it was just her trying to take that burden away from her. Because unlike Louis, who's still young, still has her whole life ahead of her, Supergirl already at that point where even if she isn't like Superman, she does see the truth, and if she lets her live, he'll only traffic more girls like her, and thus she kills him, and basically takes off that burden off this child. It is, from what I've heard, a very controversial ending because the comic ended off with a more positive and hopeful message, but for the themes that this movie was going off with the vibes that it's kind of like this dirty, down to the dirt kind of aesthetic movie, I get it. I get why they did that. Jason Momoa's Lobo, I loved every scene he was in because he was fun. But again, I feel like even if you removed him out of the movie, it wouldn't change much. Because this guy was kind of just there to make sure the audience still watches, right? Did it work on me? Yes, because I wanted Jason Momoa's Lobo for a really long fragging time now. Because it's perfect. Who doesn't like Lobo? Well, honestly, I get if you don't like Lobo, he's an acquired taste, but he's fun. He's fun. And he is fun in the movie. It's just that he doesn't really provide much. And that kind of sucks. So I hope we do get more Jason Momoa, and that I hope we do get more of Millie Alcock as Supergirl, because both of them were outstanding in this movie. As for the Superman of it all, David Cornsweet, amazing. Of course, he's Superman. Any scene he's with Millie Alcock really shows that they got a perfect Superman and Supergirl. Both of them really reflect on these characters, and they get deep into their psyche, and they embody these characters and who they represent and who they are. And I think that's just wonderful, and it's always something I wanted to see on screen. I don't think there was ever like a big screen interaction between Supergirl and Superman, not counting the one in The Flash that was AI generated and that was defiling the face of Christopher Reeve. More so, I really just enjoyed seeing those two interacting with one another. This movie had a lot of scenes that showed its potential. The ending scene at Clark's apartment, the Krypton scenes, and the scenes of Kara on Earth with Superman. As you can tell, it's a lot of the scenes that aren't taking place in current day, and it isn't even about the main plot of the story, which very much disappoints me, but those are definitely my highlights of the movie. Although what could have been, it really hurts me, because when I saw the casting and when I saw how this movie was gonna be before the trailer, I was like, man, this is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool seeing Millie Alcock as Supergirl breaking down these Ravager-like people and destroying them, and Lobo joining in the fray, maybe as an antagonist person, but instead Lobo's just kind of there, he just exists, even if he was really good. That's because of Jason Momoa captivating you. This movie is a potential movie. I really liked it. It just isn't that palatable in this current day and age of superhero media, where there's this sort of consensus that there's a superhero fatigue, but I'll quote Mr. James Jimmy Gunn here that there isn't superhero fatigue, mainly bad movie fatigue. And it's because people want to see good movies and they want to get a good first impression. And the first impression I got when I first saw that Supergirl trailer wasn't exactly the best. I was like, okay, this might just be an average movie. And that really hurt me because I was genuinely looking forward to seeing this, especially when that first teaser of Supergirl dropped after the release of Superman. The Lookout poster was really cool. But we just get another average superhero movie, which is not good, really, in this current day and age of superhero movies. It still is the reason why it's a 7.5. It's palatable, it's a blockbuster, you can watch at home and forget. It isn't as memorable, but I definitely had a good time when I was watching it for the first time. The needle drop at the end of the movie wasn't my personal favorite, but at the same time, I feel like people over-exaggerate on the hate on it too much. So, TLDR, the movie could have been more. I would have wanted a more deep story where it really delved into the psyches of these characters, because the best way to do a superhero movie is really getting invested into these characters. And as you can tell from my favorite scenes in the movie, it's mostly just the quiet parts where characters are talking and interacting with one another. To me, that's just the best kind of thing in superhero movies. Because the real power in media like this is to see strong characters be vulnerable. I would just like to say thank you all for watching this video. I know it's not the best video out there, and it's mostly me just rambling because I don't do these without any script. It's mainly just me and my unfiltered thoughts about the media I watch. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my rambles, even if it's just background noise. I really appreciate any view this video gets, because to me, what matters to me most is that I'm expressing my hobbies to this medium and to connect with an audience that maybe has the same interests as me. And superhero movies have always been my safe space. So tell me, what do you think about Supergirl, and what do you think about the current state of the DCU? Personally, the stuff I've heard about this movie was already like disheartening, considering that there was a lot of studio involvement after the first test screening of Supergirl didn't really do well. So Jimmy Gunn got involved and kind of changed some of the things, and we got the studio cut of the movie instead. That kind of sucks because I thought James was kind of be more open to some stuff and maybe just take things in a way that has kept the director's vision without changing it much. But then again, the director did make it clear that he didn't really read the book until after making the movie, which sucks because, like, why even attach a person that doesn't really want to get involved with adapting the book and instead making this thing his own? And why even adapt the book if he's just gonna make it his own? Just make it clear, guys. You don't have to say that this is a Woman of Tomorrow adaptation. Make it a loose adaptation. I think that's what this movie is. But that's the last for my rambles. The DCU isn't gonna die because of this movie, but it's definitely a sign that people want more of the bigger stars. And I really hope that this movie really makes the gears in Peter Safran and James Gunn's head turn and make them realize that what the audience want right now is good superhero movies. And personally, from what I've been seeing, Spider-Man Brand New Day might be my favorite movie this year. But we'll have to see. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope I see you around. Remember to stay hydrated and have a great rest of your day. This is Ibrahim, signing off.